to you. I'm Hayley Palmer. It's so good to have you here on tonight's show, especially as we have got an amazing guest for you. Oh yes, we've got Donny Most, best known for Ralph in the series Happy Days, and here is what happened when I caught up with him. Donny, it's great to have you on the show. How are you?
Oh, I'm very good, Hayley. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. And where are we speaking to you today?
I'm actually down in the San Diego area in Southern California.
Oh, nice.
I live near Los Angeles, but I'm visiting right now in San Diego. It's beautiful, great weather, and it's just lovely here.
You're making us jealous now because it's a bit miserable here in the UK, Donny, as you can imagine, even though it's summer, but we're craving the sunshine. So fingers crossed it gets better here. Yeah. I know.
Oh, yeah, you should be here.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to go into your first song choice, Mack the Knife, Bobby Darin. Now, is it right you saw him at the Copacabana nightclub when you were 18? I mean, that must have left a huge impression on you, right?
Oh, profound impression, getting to see Bobby at the Copa, as you mentioned, when I was 18. But I had been a fan even earlier, and I was listening to his records and singing along, especially to Mack the Knife. I would sing along to the record in my parents' dining room where they had the record player, you know, and the 45 would be spinning around. And I just was so taken with Bobby. And so that's the song I usually close with in my show.
Oh, right.
You know,
Okay.
Because I've been singing it since I'm like 11, you know.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff. Well, we're going to have a little look at the video, and we will be chatting more to Donny Most after this.
Oh, the shark, babe, has such teeth, dear. And
now I want to rewind to how everything started for you, because how did the acting career start? Was it right that you actually wanted to be a baseball player before you got into acting?
Well, yeah, as a kid, I loved baseball, and I was a fanatical fan of the New York Yankees growing up in New York. I grew up in Brooklyn. And, but then, you know, I guess when I was 9 years old and I saw the movie The Jolson Story, which was a biopic about the great Al Jolson. And that had a really profound effect on me also. And I would get his records and sing along to that before Bobby. And I really kind of, that started that was the impetus for me in terms of the desire for singing. And then I was actually singing when I was 15 years old in a nightclub act up in the Catskill Mountains in New York. And then I switched my focus after that summer more into acting and got into a more serious acting workshop. And then it led to me getting a manager, and then making the rounds to all the agents and going on auditions. And then I started doing a lot of commercials. I started booking commercials, some big national ones. And then I was also going to college during that time, but I was like taking the bus into New York from Pennsylvania for my auditions, and it was hardly ever
For like a 10-minute audition.
Yes, exactly, a 3-hour bus ride. And
yeah, I can imagine.
After my junior year in college, and I'd done about 40 commercials by then, I went out to LA originally just for the summer to get some contacts, and I was able to land an agent, and they sent me on auditions, and I got a few guest starring roles pretty quickly. So at the end of the summer, when I was supposed to go back to college, they said, you know, you've got some momentum going. Maybe you should take 6 months off of school. You know, I had 1 year left, but they said, take 6 months off because you got, you know, some real momentum. And I didn't even have to think, yes, that's what I'm going to do, you know. And so I stayed out, and I got another part on a TV show, a guest role. And then it was like nothing for a couple of months. And I was like, oh. And I was like, oh my.
It's the way with acting, isn't it? Yeah.
But then the audition for Happy Days came along, and then I went through a series of auditions and then a screen test, and that's how that happened. Happy Days.
Wow, yeah, because you were only 20 years old. What was it like being part of such a successful show at such a young age?
Good question. You know, it was exciting, incredibly exciting. It was all seemed to be happening so fast, but we were so concentrated on doing the work, and we were kind of insulated on this soundstage, and we'd get there early in the morning and do your stuff and maybe get home in the evening, have dinner, look over the material for the next day, and then go there and shoot. And we were so focused on that we didn't even realize the impact of what the show was in terms of how many people it was reaching.
Did you have a feeling, though? Because sometimes you do get a feeling for something, you think, it's going to be a massive hit.
Yeah, well, when we went out on publicity tours and we started, meeting people and going to these events, and we saw the reaction, and it was like, oh my God, it was like crazy, especially when I was with Henry, when Henry Winkler, because his character was getting so popular.
Yeah.
And it was like, we were the Beatles, it was that kind of reaction.
Wow.
So that's when it hit me. And it was kind of like being in the Twilight Zone, like, what happened? My world has totally changed now, but it also takes getting used to, because it's not just once in a while where it's fun. It's like, now it's your life everywhere. So there was definitely an adjustment period for that, when you're young, and they don't teach you in acting school,
That's right.
Okay, how to deal with that,
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? And I was going to say to you, do you see any of the cast now?
Yeah, I see Anson Williams, who played Potsy, all the time. I mean, we're best friends, and we're in constant contact and see each other frequently. Ron's Howard, he's a busy guy, and so we stay in touch by email. We still stay in touch, and then I'll see him once or twice a year probably. And Henry and Marion, the same thing. We'll stay in touch.
'Cause it seemed like you really got on as viewers, and I think that's the kind of secret to success, isn't it?
We definitely did. We got along great, and it definitely transferred to the screen and the show.
It really did.
Because you can't fake that, and we really.
No.
I mean, everybody was very serious about the work, and they were very talented, but we did have that great rapport, and we became family, and our director, Jerry Paris, same thing. We had an amazing relationship with him, and Gary Marshall, our creator and exec producer. They were so important to us. They're like mentors, It was great.
Oh, that's so good to know. Yeah, just wonderful. Well, we're going to go into a favourite song of mine, Luck Be a Lady, Frank Sinatra.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we have got a live stage performance of this to show everyone. It doesn't get better than this. Why this song?
I remember I had gotten an album. I was probably 15, and there was an album of Luck Be a Lady, sung, all the songs done by Sinatra, Sammy Davis, Dean Martin, and a few other singers that filled in, some female, I can't remember the female singers. And it was, with the great big band jazz arrangements, like Nelson Riddle arrangements. And then on that was the version of Luck Be a Lady done by Frank. And, it was just such an amazing arrangement, and what a great song, and Frank's rendition. So that was another one I would sing along with. And and then when I got a chance to sing with a big band, and I talked to my musical director, and I said, we got to do Luck Be a Lady, and then he had an arrangement that was very similar to the original. So I said, let's use that. And what a high it was when I got to do that for the first time with a big band. Just amazing. Yeah.
I bet it was. Yeah, brilliant. Well, we're going to play it out on the show now from my favourite film as well, Guys and Dolls. Enjoy, and we'll see you after.
They call you Lady Luck.
Now, Donny, we've also seen you on TV shows such as Bones, The Odd Couple, The Bold and the Beautiful, and my favourite, Glee. Tell me about your Glee experience. I have to know.
It was really great. I got to do a recurring role. I got to play the father of the character Emma, played by Jayma Mays, and I wound up doing 3 episodes, and right away, the very first day of shooting the first one, I could see the crew was just. It reminded us of our show. They were just so well oiled and together. And then the cast was, they were just so professional and really focused. and and the director was great. I had a really great experience on that first one. And then when I got to do two more, it was the same thing. It was just, it just flowed. Everything flowed beautifully. And everyone was very nice to me. And I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, you get such a brilliant script. How do you keep a straight face? I mean, it's so funny and you're so brilliant. I just don't know how you keep it together, honestly. I'd be rubbish.
Yeah, there were some funny bits in the shows I did, especially the first one when I was accused of being a ginger supremacist, and it was hard to not laugh and keep a straight face, but I probably cracked up a couple of times, but I got through it for the most part.
Oh, wonderful. And I want to talk about something people might not know about you, is that you've got a directing side as well. You've directed 3 independent films. How did that come about, kind of going in front of the camera and then making that decision to go, behind the camera?
Well, I always knew that one day I'd want to direct, but I wound up going to it a little sooner than I expected because I was going through a period where I was frustrated. I wasn't getting up I had left Happy Days, and it was hard getting away from that character. I went through that period of being typecast, and I wasn't happy with the kinds of roles that I was getting. And it was a creative frustration. And I had an opportunity to direct a play at a theater in Los Angeles. And I jumped on that, and I said, yeah, let me try my hand. Let's do it, because it sounded exciting, and it went great. I had a great experience. So I did a few more, and then I said I started looking for scripts for films, because I said now it would be great to direct a film, and I met a writer, and I loved her work, and I found a script, and I knew a producer that had a lot of experience, and he really liked it. And then having him on board, we were able to raise the money and shoot it. My first film, it was called The Last Best Sunday, and it was a drama with 2 teenagers, and a pretty heavy story, but I loved the script, and it was a great experience. The movie did well, and we won some awards and then then I got to do 2 more, over the next several years. And now it's been a while because I got very busy with acting again.
Yeah.
And things started to really happen again. And I was starting to get some nice roles, a lot of interesting different roles in some films and TV. But now I have several projects I'm hoping to get going, and then maybe direct again. I hope so.
Yes. I was going to say, if you had to choose between acting and directing, what would it be? I know that's a tough choice.
It's tough. I probably would pick acting, because to me, it's like you mentioned I wanted to be a baseball player. It's kind of like acting, you're the player up at bat. Directing, you're the manager sitting in the dugout.
Yes.
And it's more visceral being up at bat. It's more, you know what I'm saying?
I'm with you
there. That's a good analogy, I think.
Absolutely. It really is. Well, we're going to go into your next song choice. It had to be you, Tony Bennett. He's got such a beautiful voice, hasn't he? Why this song?
When I started doing shows, I knew I needed to balance. I have a lot of real up-tempo swing stuff, jazz, but I also love the ballads. And as an actor, you could really get into the ballads. And you need that to pace your show so that it's, you have a change of pace. And then you get back. You have to sort of really plan the rhythm and the meters of your songs. So when I was looking at ballads and I heard Tony's version of It Had to Be You, it was like, oh my. And it's such a great song. I mean, it's a brilliant song. And it's a feel-good song, I mean, it's a ballad, but it's so warm and uplifting. And so I said, listening to Tony do it, I said, we gotta try that one. And people loved it, and I love singing it.
Oh, well, we're going to play it out on the show now. You're right. It's a really good, feel-good tune. Enjoy this, and we look forward to seeing you in just a couple of minutes.
could be, should be making me glad.
We've got some questions from some of our lovely viewers. Tina says, you were in one of the most well-known soap operas in the US, The Bold and the Beautiful. Would you ever consider playing a role in a UK soap opera like EastEnders or Corrie?
Well, I'm not familiar with those soap operas, so it's hard for me to...
Oh, they're really good.
I guess I could consider it, if, depending on the role and all the other circumstances. I wouldn't rule it out. Who knows?
Hey.
Who knows?
You heard it here first. Yeah. Good question, Tina. And Steve says you have appeared in a host of TV shows that are popular here in the UK and all over the world, such as Fantasy Island, Chips, Dungeons and Dragons, Murder, She Wrote, and Star Trek Voyager. What was your favourite show to guest star in?
Oh, wow. That's a tough one. Wow. Well, Chips was one of my favorite because I got to play sort of this metal rocker, like a Kiss character. And so that's up there among my favorite. And I had a great experience I did a Love Boat, and it was one where we got to go on a cruise up to Alaska. So we were shooting and then stopping in all the ports, and I had a lot of free time, and then we'd shoot, and so that was a great experience. I enjoyed that. Cool. And Glee. I would have to say Glee is probably.
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
Probably my favorite. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Good question. And Tom would like to know, can you tell us something about you that we don't know?
Wow. Something about me. Well,
putting you on the spot now.
Let's see. Well, I grew up in Flatbush, in the Flatbush section of Brooklyn. You might not have known that, and you might not know that I love to play golf.
Oh, okay. We didn't know that. I'm quite good at crazy golf, Donny.
You're good at crazy golf? Is that what you said?
Crazy golf,
Is that like the miniature golf?
It is,
okay,
yeah.
Okay. Crazy golf. I never.
Not quite on your scale.
I never heard that term, crazy golf. I like that.
Oh, really? It must be an English thing. Yeah. Okay.
That's funny.
You'll have to come over to the UK and we'll teach you.
Okay. I would love to. I want to come.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to go on to your next song choice. Brian Ferry, These Foolish Things, a great version of this song. Why this one?
When I was listening to Tony Bennett, the album, it must have been with the same one that I had, It Had to Be You. He did These Foolish Things. Now, I'd heard that song, that's a big jazz favorite. A lot of people have done it, and I was familiar with the song. But then listening to Tony's version, I really started seeing that would be another great song for me to do. And I love the lyrics. The lyrics are just fantastic, and the melody as well. It's just a fabulous song, So and I'm glad we brought this up because I haven't done it in a while, and I think I'm going to have to bring it back because I miss it now that I'm talking about it. Yeah,
we think you should.
Next show, I think I'll do it. Yeah,
absolutely. There you go. You heard it here. Well, enjoy this. He always sounds superb, and we will see you after.
A tinkling piano in the next.
Now, I want to talk about your singing career because am I right in saying you've gone back to your first love, which is singing, and you were actually singing before you were acting, weren't you?
Yes, that's true. I was doing a nightclub act, I was part of a nightclub act the summer that I was turning 15 years old, and I got to sing, a lot of the great standards. And, not a lot because there were 7 of us. So I wound up having 3 songs, as my portion. But, I was 15 years old and doing it in these hotels up in the Catskill Mountains. And it was such a thrill. I put it aside after that summer to focus on acting. And that music was sort of out of favor. Not out of favor, but it was, it was like,
right.
During the 60s and early 70s, music was changing, and I knew it wasn't very commercial for a young kid to be doing that kind of music. And I really got caught up when I got into this acting class. I really loved it and really focused on that. But I knew one day I'd want to come back to the music. And about 6 years ago, it hit me like, if I'm ever going to do it, I better start, And the Great American Songbook and the standards have come back into vogue, and they certainly do stand the test of time. And so that's why I said, okay, I'm going to do this. And I put together a show and started doing jazz clubs in LA and New York, and the response was great because people were so surprised that I, sang, and they didn't know that I started out doing that, before acting even, and it was in my blood, from a very early age. So the reaction was great, and then I just, decided to keep doing it. But I've been juggling, as I mentioned, I've been very busy with the pandemic. It was easy to juggle because there was nothing to do with the music live. But now it's opening up, and so I'm looking forward to balancing, going back and forth between the acting and the music.
Wow, fantastic. Well, that leads me on to your new song called Smoke from a Distant Fire. Tell us a little bit more about this, Donny.
Yeah, well, when this new CD, I'm working with Tony Mantor, a producer based in Nashville. And unlike the previous CD I did was with a big band, and it's called Mostly Swinging. And it swings. And we decided, Tony said, I think we could still do some jazz standards, but let's do it in a more contemporary jazz setting and not a big band. And then we decided to mix in some songs from the 60s and 70s because I loved, what we consider classic rock. I grew up doing that as well. So we thought we could blend it and do some of those. Yeah. And when we were I was going through a lot of the songs in my playlist from stuff that I'd listened to when I was younger. And I came across the Sanford Townsend Band's version of Smoke from a Distant Fire, which I always loved. And Tony agreed it was a great song. But he said, let's do it a little differently. And we slowed it up and made it more bluesy. And instead of trying to do it the way they did it, because they did it, it was so great. And, we wanted to make it our own a little bit. And so it's bluesier and it has a different feel. And it came out really well. So that's kind of how that all came about.
Love that. Well, it is out now, so everyone do check it out. And we are going to take a little look at a clip. Here it is, Smoke from a Distant Fire. Donny Most, enjoy.
I know where you're going to. I knew when you came home last night, 'cause your eyes had a mist from the smoke of a distant fire. Lord, I was stung, should have seen it come a long time ago, when I realized the reality gave me a roll. If things are the same, then explain why your kiss is so cold. And that mist in your eyes feels like rain on the fire in my soul. This lying, crying, upsetting will get you nowhere. It don't stack up, so slack up, pack up, I just don't care. Don't let the screen door hit you on your way out now. Don't you drown when your dreamboat runs onto the ground.
Last song choice, Donny. What a good one to finish on. Frank Sinatra, I've Got You Under My Skin.
Yeah.
Another brilliant choice on tonight's show. Why this one?
Well, fantastic song by Cole Porter. And, Sinatra did it, to perfection. And Nelson Riddle did an amazing arrangement of that. And that was another record that I would sing along with. I remember the first time I ever did karaoke, and was looking, what songs they had, and they had "I've Got You Under My Skin," and I had done that at home, singing along. So I sang it, and the people that I was with were like, "Wow!" They were all excited. So I when I knew I was going to do a show, I said, "I've got to do that song." And it's such it blends so many different things. That song, I mean, it has a very unique kind of rhythm to it, and the lyrics are great, and the music. The musicality of it in that arrangement, because I try to do a similar arrangement because you can't beat it. And I just love doing it. I never get tired of it, never.
Yeah.
And it's just an amazing song.
Yeah, it really is. Well, we're going to play that out for everyone now. But thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to chat with you about everything. And hopefully when you're touring, you can come over to the UK.
I would love that, Hayley. I was talking to my producer, and we're looking into that to do a tour in the UK. I would absolutely love that. And then hopefully I get to meet you in person.
Yes, it would be an absolute honour. And we want to remind everyone to check out your song, "Smoke from a Distant Fire."
Yeah.
But thank you so much. Good luck with the golf playing.
Thank you, Hayley. I'm looking forward to some more golf, indeed.
Just wonderful. Thank you so much. It's Donny Most, everyone.
Thank you, Hayley.
I've got you under my skin.
Huge thank you, Donny Most, for being such a brilliant guest on tonight's show. And a huge thank you to you at home for supporting the show every single week. It is very much appreciated. Thank you. Now, I will see you same time, same place next week. I'm going to leave you with Saturday night's Song of the Week by Imelda Kehoe.
Hiya Hayley, and thank you so much for playing the music video to my song Verona. It's a song very much inspired by the music of the 50s, which I love. Verona is the first release from my new album Blue Sky Baby, out on the 30th of July with Thoroughbred Music. So I'm absolutely delighted that you're playing Verona. Thanks again, Hayley. I really hope your viewers enjoy it. Take care. Bye.
Beyond belief.